Patrick and I had been dating for 5 years. On our 5th anniversary, which was also my birthday, he finally agreed to go abroad with me. However, he didn't show up near the time of our departure. I called him, and he told me his father's old ailment had flared up and that he couldn't go with me, leaving me, someone who had never passed an English exam, alone. That evening, I saw a photo posted by his childhood friend Samuel, showing Patrick busy in the kitchen. True love is when he will do anything for me. I knew my friends were waiting for my response. I directly replied below the post. Why don't you two get married? Patrick knew my foreign language skills were always poor. Initially, when he stood me up, I didn't mind or argue with him, as his father's old ailment often flared up, and I even reminded him to take good care of his father. But it wasn't until Samuel posted on Twitter that I realized it was all an excuse. I immediately called him to question him. As expected, his response was the same as always. Have you had enough? We are just childhood friends who grew up together. There's nothing special between us. How could you think we are involved inappropriately? He angrily hung up the phone. I called back, but as expected, he didn't answer, and he had blocked my number. I spent a week alone in a foreign country, but luckily, the people there were very friendly. On the 6th day, Patrick sent me a message. Are you coming back tomorrow? I'll pick you up at the airport. Looking at this conciliatory message, I wasn't as excited as I used to be. In our 5 years of dating, I had always been the one to take the initiative. Every time we argued, no matter who was at fault, I always sought reconciliation. Over time, it seemed he had gotten used to it. But he didn't know that this week's experience had made me rethink whether our relationship was worth continuing. I thought about it and replied. Whatever, if you're not available, don't force it. Then I went for a beauty treatment and packed my things without paying attention to my phone. Before bed, the phone rang. It was Patrick. I answered. What's up? Why didn't you reply to my message? I was taken aback. Patrick had never actively contacted me before, so I didn't pay attention today either. I found an excuse. I was busy. Is there anything you need? I asked. Nothing. See you tomorrow. Okay, I replied perfunctorily. I knew he wouldn't come. The next day, at the airport, as expected, Patrick was nowhere to be seen. To give him one last chance, I waited. But even as it got dark, he didn't show up. A taxi driver rolled down his window. Young lady, you've been waiting all afternoon. Are you still waiting for someone to pick you up? Don't wait. Soon there won't be any cars. Where to? I'll take you. Seeing the driver's sincere face, I got in the car, gave him the address, and he kindly kept his car lights on until I entered the building. At home, I checked my phone. There were no messages from Patrick, and a score in my heart dropped further. I was tired. I dropped my suitcase and went to the bathroom. After cleaning up, my supervisor Helen called. There's an opportunity to go abroad for a year. Your salary will double when you return. Actually, there had been such opportunities before, but first, my foreign language was poor, and second, I couldn't bear to leave Patrick. Patrick and I had started getting along well in college, in our sophomore year. Now, it had been 2 years since graduation, and my life revolved around him. Over the years, I had centered my life around Patrick, forgetting the ambitious promises I made when I graduated. Sadly, sometimes when I worked late and asked Patrick to pick me up, he would say, "Are you a child?" But it was different for Samuel. As long as Samuel called, Patrick would go out in the middle of the night, saying Samuel was afraid of the dark. But he didn't know that I was also afraid of the dark, and a year younger than Samuel. Thinking about this made me uncomfortable, and I immediately agreed. Okay, I'll go this time. Helen, excited, cheered and said. That's right. Women must live up to themselves. When you're strong, you lack nothing. But Helen, you know my foreign language skills, I chuckled awkwardly. That's simple. There's a month left. Enroll in a training class to improve, and I'm going too. What are you worried about? I acted quickly, signed up, and started practicing. But looking at those English words, I soon felt sleepy and fell asleep. In the middle of the night, I heard the door open. I rubbed my eyes and saw Patrick. "Oh, you're back?" Patrick looked at me strangely, and I wondered what I had done wrong this time. "What's wrong?" I finally asked, unable to stand his weird look. "Valerie, what happened to your phone? I sent so many messages, and you didn't respond." I glanced at my phone. There were indeed a few messages, but it was late by then. "Oh, I fell asleep," I said simply. "Well, I didn't mean to not pick you up." Samuel suddenly felt unwell, and I had to. "It's fine. I'm not a child. I can find my way home." "Valerie, please don't be like this. I know you're upset." "No, I'm not. I'm quite happy, not angry at all." "Maybe I was too tired from the flight and fell asleep," I said as I got up and went to the bedroom. "Valerie, say what's on your mind. Don't be like this." "I don't buy it." Patrick frowned, clearly unhappy. "Huh? Oh, you're overthinking. I'm really just tired." I opened the blanket. "I need to rest." "What about you? Are you going to sleep?" "Valerie," Patrick stammered, then slammed the door and left. I was speechless. And soon, I understood why he was angry. He thought he was giving me face, and I wasn't appreciating it, which made him feel he was losing face. But his face meant nothing to me now. The next day, I yawned as I went downstairs and saw Patrick at home with a cake on the table. "Is it your birthday?" I asked. Patrick's face darkened. "No, Valerie. It's for you, a belated celebration for your birthday and our 5th anniversary." "Oh, so you remember it was our anniversary?" "Valerie, I'm sorry about that day." Samuel's depression acted up, and she wasn't cooperating with the treatment. Her parents had no choice but to call me. Regarding cooking in the kitchen, it's because she said she wanted my homemade chicken soup. Yesterday was because "The cake looks nice and tastes good, thank you," I said. Patrick was momentarily speechless. I lit the candles and made a wish, hoping this trip abroad would go smoothly. "Thank you, sincerely," I said again. Patrick hesitated. "Valerie, are you listening to me?" "I heard you, and it's fine. You two are childhood friends. It's normal." "There is no chance," I added. "Like before, it won't happen again." There was a flicker of panic in Patrick's eyes. "Won't you have a piece? This cake is really good." "Their bakery has improved," I said, cutting a piece for him. "Valerie, are you really not angry? Not upset?" "Look at you," I said. "I'm not angry. Everyone has close friends, right?" I smiled. Patrick looked at me strangely. "Well, Valerie, we have a class reunion tonight, and they asked us to bring our partners." I was speechless. I stuffed a mouthful of cake into my mouth and slowly swallowed it. I remembered how I used to eagerly ask to attend his gatherings, but he never took me, always finding excuses to go with Samuel. "I'll pick you up tonight." "That's not convenient." "I have something tonight," I said. "Is there something wrong with the company?" I nodded. I wasn't going to tell him I had enrolled in a TOEFL class to avoid any more drama. "It's fine, and we can make it in time." "No, I have a few projects and need to get data ready by tomorrow. I don't know how late I'll be working. Don't let me delay your reunion. And besides, I don't really like your circle," I said. Patrick couldn't believe I said that. I used to cling to him, eager to announce to the world that I was his girlfriend. But they're all bringing their girlfriends. "If I don't finish, I won't get my bonus this month," I said, wiping my mouth with a napkin and getting up to change clothes. After a while, he said, "In that case, I'll take Samuel." "Don't." I was already upstairs. The sound of the door closing echoed. I was unmoved. My plan to go abroad was already set. When my best friend Tina found out, she took a day off work and traveled by train to see me. We went out for hot pot, and my phone rang. It was Samuel. We had a group chat, and Samuel posted pictures of her and Patrick at the reunion, even posting on Twitter with the caption, "Tonight is a class reunion for childhood friends, and we could only bring our girlfriends." I silently liked her post. Patrick also liked it. I sneered. Patrick never liked or commented on my posts. In the past, I would have confronted him, demanded an explanation, or rushed to the venue to declare that I was his girlfriend. But now, I found it pointless. I left the group chat and set Samuel's updates to invisible. "What's up? Can't let go?" Tina asked. "Pfft, can't let go of what? He's just a man, and a scumbag at that," I said, silencing my phone. We happily enjoyed our hot pot. That night, I didn't go home. Tina and I stayed up chatting until dawn. When I woke up, I turned off the silent mode on my phone. It immediately rang. It was Patrick, sounding angry. "Why didn't you reply to my messages or answer my calls?" I looked at my phone and saw many missed calls and messages. "Oh, Tina is here. I was with her. What's up?" "Well, I came home early last night." "Okay," I replied. "Anything else?" I asked. "No, just come home early." I was speechless. These days, my company was busy, and I was busy too, busy with going abroad, busy with TOEFL classes. I almost forgot about Patrick. Then Patrick called again. "Valerie, are you off work? It's been a while since we had dinner together." I calculated the time. It was time to have a talk. "Yes, I'm not too busy today. I'll come home." "Great. Don't leave after work, I'll pick you up." I was about to say something when Helen called me to her office to discuss my trip and some important points. By the time I finished, I took out my phone and found that Patrick had called me dozens of times. One WhatsApp message after another popped up. "Dear, pick up the phone. When did you move? Why didn't I know? Are you still angry about what happened that day? It's not a big deal. Why would everyone need to know? Besides, you don't usually pick me up, so why tell you? Valerie, don't misunderstand. It's not that I deliberately didn't pick you up. I had to pick up Samuel because of her illness. It's fine. I'm not a child. I can get home on my own," I said, walking to the back. "Valerie." Patrick's face darkened. "What?" I asked, already impatient. "Sit in the front." I hesitated. The front seat was Samuel's spot. Because she got carsick, Patrick always gave her special treatment. We had argued about it before, and Patrick accused me of lacking empathy and said he had misjudged me. Since then, I hated that seat and found it disgusting. "It's fine. I don't get carsick," I said lightly. Patrick insisted. "Valerie, it's the girlfriend seat. You must sit here." "What if Samuel is here? Who would you let sit?" "Valerie, do you have to do this? Do you have to make me look bad?" "Patrick, it's just a seat. Is it that important?" I said. Patrick became stubborn. He wouldn't start the car unless I sat in the front. Reluctantly, I moved to the front seat. We were silent. In the past, I would chatter like a little sparrow while he drove, but he would always say, "Don't you know driving requires full concentration? You're distracting me." After that, I stopped talking to him while he drove. Now, I had my own thoughts and didn't feel like talking. To avoid the awkwardness, I closed my eyes and pretended to rest. Just then, his phone rang. I recognized the ringtone. It was the special one he set for Samuel. I opened my eyes. Patrick promptly hung up, but she kept calling. I answered for him. Patrick stared at me blankly. Samuel's voice came through. Patrick, I'm so scared. The house is so dark. Can you come over and keep me company? I'll ask your parents to come over? No, Patrick, if my parents come, they'll just blame me. I don't want them here. Please, come over. Patrick looked at me, troubled. I knew he wanted to go. Every time we were together, she would find ways to interrupt, making excuses. Once, at 1 a.m., Patrick left me on the street to pick her up. It was 7 or 8 kilometers from our place. Every time, you are so suspicious and doubt whether there is something inappropriate between me and Samuel. How dirty-minded you are. Go back by yourself, I will go and pick up Samuel. Which time was it that the police on patrol saw me, a little girl, crying on the street late at night and sent me home? Should I drop you off first? Patrick asked. No need. It's still early. I can take a taxi or even walk home. It's not far, I said. No, I'll take you. I can't leave you alone. Really, there are things I need to buy. I'll just walk home, I insisted. Patrick hesitated but nodded and stopped the car. Wait for me to come back, he said as I was about to leave. Will you be back for dinner? If so, I'll make extra. If not, it'll be a waste, I said. Patrick was taken aback and nodded. I'll come back. Okay. I smiled and left without looking back. Valerie, Patrick called out, but I didn't turn around and walked into the supermarket. Patrick hesitated, then drove off. I didn't cook for Patrick. I knew he wouldn't come back. Samuel wouldn't let him leave early. Sure enough, Patrick didn't come home that night. Samuel didn't post any updates on Twitter, which piqued my curiosity, but only for a few minutes before I got back to my work. With no emotional baggage, I could focus on my tasks and quickly get into the zone. At work, Helen called me for a meeting. My phone was on silent. When I checked it after work, I saw several missed calls from Patrick. Just as I was about to call back, he called again. I answered, and his urgent voice came through, Valerie, why didn't you answer my calls? This felt familiar. I used to question him like this. Now the roles were reversed. We had a meeting, and my phone was on silent. What's up? I'm sorry. I promised to come back for dinner, but Samuel. Her parents couldn't come, and I stayed to take care of her. My phone was powered off. Is it just for this? No need to say more. I trust that you won't deceive me. You two have been childhood friends. If you wanted to be together, you would have been together long ago. There's no need for today. Valerie, is it true? Are you not angry? No anger, really. After all, she's a patient. Or depression. What if she can't think through for a while? What should we do? All right, we have a meeting later. Let's talk then. Bye. Okay, I'll definitely come home today and make you chicken soup. If it weren't for his voice, I would have thought Patrick's phone number had been stolen. He never used to cook for me, only when Samuel asked him to. Once, I wanted his chicken soup and told him. He said, can't you make it yourself? But I like your cooking, I pouted. He said I was being pretentious and left. Now he wanted to make me soup, but I wasn't excited at all. I just said, a colleague is having a housewarming and invited us for dinner. Colleague? Male or female? I chuckled inwardly. Before, to comfort Samuel, he accompanied her to West Coast for a few days, causing a huge fight between us. He accused me of being unreasonable and dirty-minded, claiming he and Samuel were like siblings and nothing could ever happen between them. He also told me not to meddle too much. Now, what right did he have to ask me these questions? Patrick, I said it was a colleague. Doesn't your company have female colleagues? There was a moment of silence. Sorry, I just asked casually. I'll pick you up when you're done. Okay, I said perfunctorily. I went back to work and stayed for a few more hours. It was late at night when I greeted the security guard and left. At the entrance, I saw Patrick waiting. He must have been there for a long time. When he saw me, his eyes turned red. "Valerie, since when did you start lying?" "I just came back to get some files." "Valerie, don't lie to me. When I called you earlier, I was right outside your office. There was no housewarming." I looked down guiltily. "Do you need something?" "Valerie, how could you forget today's significance?" I was puzzled. "I've been busy lately." "What's today?" "Valerie, how could you forget? It's my birthday." "How could you forget such an important day?" I paused for a moment, then smiled. "Sorry, I really forgot. You always spent your birthday with Samuel." I just. Patrick's eyes were red. In the past, I always prepared birthday gifts and cooked for him, even if he didn't spend the day with me. Last year, he promised to be home for his birthday, so I carefully prepared a gift. But that evening, he said Samuel was feeling down and wanted to see the stars. "So, just the two of you?" I asked on the phone. "Yeah, Samuel is sick." "Stop making a fuss. If something happens to her, we're done." "But, Patrick, I have something to tell you." "A big surprise." "It's just a birthday cake." "What's the big deal?" "Patrick, a shooting star. Let's make a wish." Samuel's sweet voice came through. "Enough, hang up. Stop tracking my movements. I'm not your pet. I need my personal space." He hung up heartlessly. I looked at the hospital report and cried. I was pregnant and was going to surprise him with it. I even bought a ring to propose to him. We'd been together for so many years, it didn't matter who bought the ring. But, because of the emotional stress, I lost the baby. Patrick looked at me. "Valerie, you've changed. Don't you love me anymore? I told you, yesterday I." "Sorry, I really forgot. How about this, I'll go buy some groceries now. We'll go home, and I'll cook for you, okay?" I originally planned to confront him today, but considering it was his birthday, I let it go. Patrick smiled a bit and took my hand to leave. But when we got home, I was furious because Samuel was there. "Patrick, happy birthday. I bought your favorite cake." Patrick hurriedly explained, "Valerie, I didn't invite her. She still had the key I gave her before. I forgot to take it back." I smiled. "It's okay. The house is yours. You can give the key to whoever you want." Patrick was speechless. "Valerie, are you mad?" Samuel looked at me smugly. "If you're blind, go see an eye doctor. I definitely look younger than you." Samuel was stunned. "Patrick. Valerie is right. You are older than her." Samuel didn't expect Patrick to not side with her and pouted. She quickly adjusted herself. "Patrick said you cook well. How about you cook for us? If you're not afraid of getting an upset stomach, you can eat," I said, heading to the kitchen with the groceries. Patrick tried to help, but Samuel clung to him. "Patrick, my gift for you." Samuel took out a gift box, a belt. "No need. Valerie already bought one for me," Patrick declined. Samuel's face turned ashen. I didn't expect Patrick to refuse her. The two of them stayed silent. But Samuel wouldn't give up easily. During dinner, she insisted on sitting next to Patrick. Patrick had no choice but to sit next to her. Samuel moved closer to him. "Patrick, does it matter? It's just a seat." Sitting with Samuel is no big deal. Patrick had no choice but to sit with Samuel. Samuel put peeled shrimp in Patrick's bowl. "Valerie, next time, don't buy frozen shrimp. Patrick doesn't like them. Buy fresh ones." "Sure. Next time he wants shrimp, go to the sea and catch them yourself." "Patrick. Shut up. Eat if you want to," Patrick snapped. Samuel was shocked. Patrick had never raised his voice at her before. Today, he yelled at her. What's wrong? Did I say anything wrong? Valerie made this for me. Eat if you want to, or leave. Patrick, what did you say? I said leave. And leave the key before you go. Patrick, you'll regret this. Samuel cried and ran out. Not going after her? I continued eating shrimp, finding them delicious. Valerie, it won't happen again, never again, Patrick said. I got up, went to the bedroom, opened a drawer, and took out a box, handing it to Patrick. Your birthday gift. Patrick took the box, looking happy. Valerie, so you did remember my birthday? He hurriedly opened the box, finding a ring and an old, yellowed medical report inside. Patrick was confused, but when he opened the paper, he was stunned. Valerie, when did this happen? Why didn't you tell me? It was last year on your birthday. I was going to tell you, but you went stargazing with Samuel. I was upset, and a few days later, I had a miscarriage. Valerie, it wasn't like that. I didn't know any of this. Back then, her condition was severe, and the doctor said we had to keep her happy. I had to. It doesn't matter anymore, you know? It doesn't matter, I said, leaving the bedroom for the living room. Patrick hugged me tightly. Valerie, stop it. I know you've been hurt. I won't see Samuel anymore. I'll send her back to her parents and take back the key. From now on, it'll just be us, living simply. How about that? Patrick, I've given you many chances. At that moment, his phone rang. It was an unknown number. He answered, what? Okay, I'll be right there. Patrick hung up. Valerie, I need to go out for a bit. I'll be right back. I smiled. It's okay. I recognized that number, it was one of Samuel's other numbers. She used to call me from that number often. For the next few days, there was no news from Patrick. Occasionally, he posted updates, showing places we used to visit together. I tried to meet him a few times, but he always made excuses. I knew he was avoiding me, and I knew he had sent Samuel away. I messaged him. I've moved out. I left the key with the security guard. He didn't reply. The date for my trip abroad was set, and my colleagues threw a farewell party. Someone, not knowing the situation, called Patrick when they saw I was drunk. He rushed over. TSK, no wonder she never wanted to go abroad for further studies. She has such a good boyfriend. Abroad? Further studies? Patrick looked confused. Yeah, didn't you know? Valerie is being sent abroad. But a year isn't long. Patrick didn't say anything, just helped me into the car and drove me home. He made me some soup to sober up. Once I was more awake, he asked. Is it true? I nodded. Yes, it's a good opportunity. I'll get promoted and a raise when I return. I saw a flash of sadness in Patrick's eyes. A year, right? It's okay, I can wait. Ah? I looked at him. I'll wait for you to come back. Patrick then ran to the bedroom and came back with a box. Valerie, marry me. I laughed. The moment I had longed for had finally come, but I wasn't excited at all. Patrick, we have no future. From the moment you left me alone at the airport, I decided I didn't want you anymore. Patrick's face turned pale. No, Valerie, I know you're just angry. I'll love only you from now on. Patrick, I once dreamed of a beautiful future for us, but you shattered it. Our child is gone because of your indifference. I tried to give you a chance, but... Valerie, I know I was wrong. Give me one more chance. I stood up. Patrick, let me go. Let yourself go too. I'm leaving. I wish you happiness. I walked out, and as I reached the ground floor, I looked back. Patrick stood by the window, looking desolate. But that had nothing to do with me anymore. I was going to pursue my own future, and it would be brilliant.